electrons should be, so this is the screen. So Wilhelm Conrad noticed that we know when the when the screen will be away from the discharge tube, they shows the luminescence. That means we notice that there is a light will be present. So when the hard object should be introduced in between the tube, this is the cathode ray tube and this is the screen. In between the tube and the screen, if they introduce some hard material, some hard material. When we introduce the hard material between the tube and the screen, we able to observe, they observe that shadow on the screen. So when the electron will be directly fall on the screen, we observe the light. They place some hard material in between the tube and the screen. They notify that there is no light, only shadow will be present on the screen. So this made him to conclude that a new kind of radiation, that means it should be penetrate from the discharge tube. So since they are unknown, so they don't know which is, therefore since they are unknown, they were named as or called as X-rays. So according to him, the X-rays are high energy electrons. X-rays are high energy electrons. So when it is stopped by the matter, produce an invisible, highly penetrating radiation. These are invisible. X-rays are invisible, and also these are highly penetrating radiation. They are highly penetrating radiation. So X-rays were discovered by the William Röntgen in the year 1895 by doing some experiment. They are noticed that when there is no, that means when the screen will be away from the tube, they notice that luminescence, that means light will be present. So in between the tube and the screen, they place some hard material. When they place the hard material, they not observe the light. In the absence of light, they notified that there will be a shadow will be appear. So this made him, they conclude that this is the new kind of radiation. These are new kind of radiation. So they have must penetrate this new kind of radiation should be penetrating by the cathode ray or discharge tube. Since they are unknown, therefore they are called as or named as X-rays. Since they are unknown, therefore they are called as or named as the X-rays. So X-rays, according to them, X-rays are the high energy electrons will be stopped by the matter, produce an invisible and highly penetrating radiation. They are called as the X-rays. What are X-rays? X-rays are the high energy electrons, and when they stop by the matter, produce an invisible and highly penetrating radiation. They are called as X-rays. So this is the definition for X-rays. What are X-rays? X-rays are the high energy electrons is stopped by the matter, produce an invisible and highly penetrating radiation called as the X-rays. So we know that what is X-rays. So how the production of X-rays will be possible? So this will be possible. So I already told that when the cathode ray tube will be present, in between the cathode ray tube and the screen, there will be a hard material. It is any metal or any hard material should be present. So when the electrons will be produced from the cathode ray tube, it should be fall or it should be hit the it should be hit the it should be hit the hard material. It should be hit the hard material, that is metals. So therefore they penetrating or release the X-rays. So when fast moving electrons are hit the metallic object, it loses the speed. Therefore, the kinetic energy will be low. Therefore, this difference in kinetic energy, it will be transferred into X-rays. So how the X-rays will be produced? Place the cathode ray tube in front of the hard material. It should be any metals. So when the fast moving electrons are hit the wall of the metallic object, it loses the energy. Energy will be decreases. It loses energy. Therefore, its speed will be decreases. Therefore, there is a change in kinetic energy. Due to this, energy will be decreases, means kinetic energy will also decreases. Therefore, when the kinetic energy is low, this difference in the kinetic energy will be converted or transformed into X-rays. So this type we produce the X-rays. So this is the production of X-rays. So this is X-rays and how we produce the X-rays. So actually in the practically the experimental arrangement like this. So this is the cathode ray. So in practically, X-rays are commonly produced in the X-ray. This is the X-ray tube. So by accelerating the electrons, we know that through a potential difference. So this will be very high potential difference. So at the high potential difference means 35 kilovolts, 35 kilo electrovolts at this high potential difference. So this will be filament. The electrons will be liberated from this filament. So this is the electron beam. It is liberated from the filament. It should be hit the wall of the, this is heavy metal target. Then the energy, it loses, when it hit the wall, they loses the energy. Energy will be decreases or loses the energy. Therefore, kinetic energy also decreases. Due to this difference in this kinetic energy, it will be converted into X-ray beam. So this will be, this cathode ray tube or X-ray tube will be maintained in the vacuum tube. So it should be maintained in vacuum. So this is the experimental arrangement. So they need the source, some source of the electron, and the accelerating electron. This electron should be accelerated with the high potential difference and also the target material. To produce the X-rays, what we need? We need the source of electrons, and these electrons should be accelerated with the using the potential difference, that means high potential difference, and also the some target material. It should be hard target material. So this is the production of X-rays. So this is X-rays and how we produce the X-rays. So next we have to move that. So the what are the properties of the X-rays? What are the properties of X-rays? So I already told that what are X-rays and how we produce the X-rays. And now we move on to the next is properties of X-rays. So what are the properties of X-rays? So the first one is we know that the X-rays are high electromagnetic radiation. We know that they are high electromagnetic radiation. High electromagnetic radiations. So we know that which are highly penetrating, which are highly penetrating, and also we know that these X-rays are invisible. So we cannot see the X-rays. What is the first property? The X-rays are highly electromagnetic radiation, which are highly penetrating, and the X-rays will be invisible. So this is the first property of the X-rays. And also the second property of the X-rays is X-ray will be travel with the velocity of light. Travel with the velocity of light. And these X-rays are not deflected by the electric and magnetic fields. So this is the second property of the X-rays. So these X-rays are travel with the speed of the velocity of light, and also they are not deflected by the electric and magnetic fields. So these X-rays are not deflected by the electric and magnetic field. So when we apply the electric or magnetic field, the X-rays will not deflected. So it travel with the velocity of the light. So this is the second property. The third property is the X-rays will have the X-rays have a range of wavelength, that is lambda. We know that represent wavelength. So X-rays we have the range of wavelength from 0.01 angstrom to 10 angstrom. So these lower wavelength X-rays are more penetrative. This lower range of X-rays are more penetrative, and these are known as hard X-rays. So while longer wavelength, that means consider the 10 angstrom to 100 angstrom. While longer wavelength, when the longer wavelength, the X-rays are, these X-rays are less penetrative and is called as soft X-rays. What is the third property of X-rays? X-rays will have the range of lambda. Lambda means wavelength from the range of 0.01 angstrom to 10 angstrom. So 0.01 angstrom to 10 angstrom. This in this range, these X-rays are more penetrative. This should be more penetrative, and they are called as the hard X-rays. When the wavelength will be between the range, therefore more longer wavelength, that means in between 10 angstrom to 100 angstrom, in this range, the X-rays are less penetrative. In this high wavelength, they are less penetrative, and these X-rays are called as the soft X-rays. When the wavelength will be small, the X-rays will be more penetrative, and it should be called as hard X-rays. When the wavelength will be longer, then the X-rays will be less penetrative and is called as the soft X-rays. So this is the third property of X-rays. The fourth one is, we know that the X-rays are used to notify that there is any defect or any defect in the, that means in the place of bones or any like this, etc. So that means the hard materials, that means hard materials like, for example, bones, it is opaque, that means not transparent, it is opaque to the X-rays. While soft material, which are the soft material? While the soft materials like flesh, these are transparent for X-rays. So this is the fourth property. What is the fourth property? When the hard materials like the bones will be opaque and it is, we cannot, it should be not transparent, opaque to the X-rays. So, and at the same time, while the soft material, what happens when when it is the material will be soft, like consider the flesh. So when the flesh, that means they are transparent. This will be transparent to the X-rays. So when hard material, this will be opaque to the X-rays. When the soft material, it should be transparent to the X-rays. So this is the fourth property of the X-rays. And the fifth one is, the X-rays are absorbed when passing through the medium and the intensity of the emergent beam decreases. So that means X-rays are absorbed when they pass through a medium and the intensity of the beam will be intensity of the beam will be decreases. Intensity of the beam will be decreases exponentially with the increase in distance. So this is the fifth property. What is the fifth property? X-rays are absorbed when they are passed through the medium. When the X-rays will be passed through the medium, X-rays will be absorbed and the intensity of the emergent beam will be decreases exponentially when with the increase of the distance. When the distance will be increases, intensity of the beam will be decreases. Distance will be increases, vice versa, the intensity of the beam will be decreases. So this is the fifth property of the X-rays. The next property is, X-rays ionize the gases. X-rays are ionize the gases through which they pass. Through which they pass. So this is the sixth property. What is the sixth property? When the X-rays will be passed through which one gases, they ionize that gases. So X-rays are ionize the gases. And the next one is, X-rays are incident on certain material. Secondary X-rays of shorter wavelength. Secondary X-rays of shorter wavelength, that are the characteristics of the material they are emitted. That are characteristic of the material are emitted. So this is the seventh property. What is the seventh property? X-rays, when they fall on certain material, the secondary X-rays will be of shorter wavelength will be produced. That are the characteristics of the material. They are emitted. So the next property is small organisms. Small organisms like fungi, etc. are killed by the incidence of X-rays. Incident of X-rays. That means when the X-ray will be fall on this small organism, fungi, etc., they are killed. So these small organisms are killed by the X-rays when it is falls on some small organisms. So the soft tissues are damaged and small insects are also um, killed by these X-rays. So soft tissues are the damaged. Therefore, the small organisms like fungus are killed by the X-rays when the incident of the X-rays. So this is the eighth property. So these are the properties of the X-rays. So these are the properties of the X-rays. What is the first property? X-rays are the electromagnetic radiation which are highly penetrating and it should be invisible. So X-rays are highly penetrating and the invisible. And also the X-rays are travel with the velocity of light. X-rays will be travel with the speed with the velocity of light and are not deflected by the electric and magnetic field. That means when you apply the electric and magnetic field, the X-rays are not deflected. So what is the third property? X-rays have a wavelength range from 0.01 angstrom to 10 angstrom. When this range of X-rays, they are more penetrative and they are called as the hard X-rays. When the longer wavelength, that means in the range 10 angstrom to 100 angstrom, for longer wavelength, these X-rays are less penetrative and they are named as the soft X-rays. So this is the third property. The fourth property is, so some hard material like the bones are opaque. Opaque means not transparent to the X-rays. Soft material like flesh will be transparent to the X-rays. So this is the fourth property of the X-rays. And the fifth one is, the X-rays are absorbed when they pass through the medium. When the X-rays will be passed through the medium, it should be absorbed. Therefore, the intensity of the penetrating beam will be decreases exponentially. When the intensity will be decreases, when they increase the distance. If distance will be increases, then the intensity of the beam will be decreases. So this is the fifth property of the X-rays. And the next one is, the X-rays are ionize the gases. So this is the most important property. The X-rays will be ionize the gas when they pass through that gas. So when they pass through that gas, they have the property. That means it should be ionize the gases. The seventh property is, X-rays are incident on certain material. So when the X-rays will be incident on some certain material, it should be produce secondary X-rays. It produces secondary X-rays of shorter wavelength, so that they have the shorter wavelength compared to the primary. That are the characteristics of the material are emitted. So this is the seventh property of X-rays. And the last one is, the small organisms like fungi, it should be killed when we incident the X-rays on it. When we incident the X-ray on the small organism, it should be killed. So these are the properties of the X-rays. So this is very important for exam. In the examination, ask it for 4 or 2 marks. Write the properties of the X-rays. So I think in this there is no doubt. So next is, So after we know the properties of the X-rays, now what are the applications of X-rays? So what are the application of X-rays? So the first application will be the crystal structure analysis is made possible only with the help of the X-rays. The crystal structure analysis is made possible only with the help of X-rays. So this is the first application, the crystal structure. So what we are, which crystal should be the structure will be studied? It should be placed under the study under the X-rays. So the crystal structure analysis, it should be made possible only with the help of X-rays. When the X-ray, with the help of X-rays, we study the crystal structure easily. So this is the first one. The second one is, so this production of X-rays is inversion of photoelectric effect. So we know that what is photoelectric effect? Photoelectric effect is nothing but the emission of electron when the light hit the material. When the light will be hit some material, when the light will be hit some material, this will be emitted the electrons. What is photoelectric effect? Is the emission of electron when the light will be hit the some material. What is photoelectric effect? The emission of some electrons is when the light will be hit the material. So these electrons are called as photoelectrons. So these photoelectrons are used to produce the X-rays. So therefore, it is called X-rays will be inverse of this photoelectric effect. So this photoelectric of, so the second application is this photoelectric effect of X-rays are used to determine the distribution of electron, are used to determine the distribution of electrons inside the atom. So using this photoelectric effect of X-rays are used to distribution of electron inside the atom. That means how the electrons will be distributed inside the atom. It should be studied with the help of these X-rays. So the next one is internal, that means bodies like tested for this perfect geometrical shape. So some bodies should be have the perfect geometrical shape. So bodies examine or test some bodies for perfect geometrical shape. Perfect geometrical shape. Like consider golf balls. So golf balls, we know that they are perfect in spherical shape. So such kind of bodies will be tested. That means the body will be perfect geometrical shape. So this is the another application of X-rays. And also we know that every country should be carried out or parcels will be passing through customs. So this should be examined or detected by the material without opening them. So some without opening any parcel, we can notify that. So that means if some parcels will have some smuggling materials, so without opening that smuggling materials, we notify that which is present inside this box. Like the customs, the place at a port or airport where officially check incoming the goods travel, that means they are luggages. So the next application is very important. Parcels are coming from through the customs that can be examine the parcels from the customs. It should be examine to detect the material, without opening the parcel, without opening the parcel. Without opening the parcel, if we use the X-rays, we can notify that which one is present. So if it is the any smuggling goods, or it will be useful product, therefore it is helpful in the place of port, airport, where the official check incoming goods will be traveling. That means we heavy luggages. So this is the important application of X-rays. Next one is very huge application in the field of medicine. We know that in the field of medicine, it should be a huge application. We know that the X-rays are used for the diagnosis and cure some diseases. It is possible to detect the bone fracture or the presence of any other object. Foreign object means it should be considered any other object inside the human body by taking the X-ray photograph. When we taking the X-ray photograph, we can easily diagnose. And ulcer and internal fracture in the organ can also be traced. X-rays are used for the treatment of abnormal growth of tissues as tumorous, or it is called as tumorous, or for searching the cancerous cells. So it is also very useful. This is the most important application where we use in the field of medicine. So in the field of medicine, we know that these X-rays are used to diagnose and cure some diseases, and it is possible to detect bone fracture or present any other object inside the human body, and it should be useful in ulcer, used to identify the ulcer in the organ. It should be easily traced, and X-rays are used for the treatment of the, it should be used for the treatment of the abnormal growth. That means the growth of tissues in the tumor. That means they are the identify the cancerous cells. So these are the applications of X-rays. So what are the application? The most important application will be crystal structure. The crystal structure analysis should be made possible with the help of the X-rays. So we can, when we use the X-rays, the crystal structure will be easily analyzed. The second one is the photoelectric effect of X-rays are used to determine or distribute the distribution of electrons inside the atom. How the electrons will be distributed inside the atom, we can easily find out. So this is the important application of the X-rays. So what do you mean by photoelectric effect? Photoelectric effect is nothing but is the emission of electrons when the light will be. What is photoelectric effect? Is the emission of electrons when the light will be hit the some material. These electrons are called photoelectrons. This effect is called as the photoelectric effect. So this is the second application. The third application will be, so it should be examined internal bodies test. That means it should be some bodies will be have some perfect geometrical shape. So the bodies will be tested. It has perfect geometrical shape. So for example, like Gulf Wars will be perfect spherical shape. We know that they have in the spherical shape. It should be perfect spherical. So the shape will be perfect. So this is the very important application. And the other application is very important and huge application is in the field of medicine. We know that in the field of medicine, X-rays are used for diagnose and cure some diseases. It is also possible to used to diagnose and cure some diseases, and it is possible to detect the bone fracture or present any other object inside the human body, and also the ulcer will be easily identified by the use of X-rays. And it is also used for the treatment of some tumorous, that means cancerous cell. It should be used in the treatment of cancerous cell. So these are the applications of X-rays. So we already know that what are X-rays and how they produce and what are the properties and applications of X-rays. So any doubt in this? What are X-rays and how they produce the X-rays and the properties and the application of X-rays. So next is X-rays types. X-rays and its types. We know that the X-rays are electromagnetic radiation of the wavelength range between the 1 angstrom to 100 angstrom. So they contain both the soft and hard. We know that soft and hard X-rays. So these X-rays are highly electromagnetic radiation of the wavelength of range of between 1 angstrom to 100 angstrom. X-rays are of two types. The X-rays are of two types. X-rays are of two types. Namely, the first one is the one has the line spectrum. The one has line spectrum. It is called as the characteristic X-rays. The other has continuous spectrum. Continuous spectrum. They are called as the continuous X-rays. So, what are the types of X-rays? We know that X-rays are electromagnetic radiation of the wavelength between the range 1 angstrom to 100 angstrom. These X-rays are of two types. Namely, the first one is one has the line spectrum. One has the line spectrum. They are called as the characteristic X-rays, and the other has the continuous spectrum. They are called as the continuous X-rays. So what are the types of X-rays? One has the line spectrum. It is called as the characteristic X-rays. Other has the continuous spectrum. Then they are named as the continuous X-rays. So these are the two types of X-rays. Let us study one by one. The first one is, this is very important for exam. In the examination, they ask it for 4 marks or 5 marks. Explain the production or origin of continuous X-rays or characteristic X-rays. So let us study one by one. First, start with first one, continuous X-rays. So it should be production or origin. It should be production or origin of continuous X-rays. So how these continuous X-rays will be produced? When high velocity electrons are passed through near positively charged nucleus of the target atom, they are deflected and deaccelerated. This gives the electromagnetic radiation. We know that already how the X-ray will be obtained. So it should be X-rays will be produced with the help of the target of high material and use of the electron. We can get the X-rays. How we get continuous X-rays means, let us consider. So this is the target material. So target material means let us consider it is a tungsten. tungsten material. So we know that it has the positively charged nucleus, and it has the electrons. This is K shell, K, L, M, N, etc. shells. So we know that when the high energy fast moving electron, high energy fast moving electron, enters the when high velocity, high energy, fast moving electron pass through the near positively charged nucleus of the target atom, they are deflected. Why? Because we know that there is an attraction between these electrons and positively these negatively charged electron, positively charged nucleus. Due to this electron beam takes trajectory. This trajectory of electron beam will be bends. The beam will be bends like this. So when the high velocity fast moving electron are passed through the positively charged nucleus of the target, they are deflected. And deaccelerated. This gives the electromagnetic radiation. So these electromagnetic radiation are called as the continuous X-rays. So in this, energy levels will be continuous. In this type of X-rays, energy levels are continuous. And it is also why? Because when the electron, we know that electron is negatively charged and the nucleus is positively charged. Due to this, there is attraction between. Due to this, they will be deflected by the nucleus, and it should be bent in this some direction. And as a result, the electron loses its energy. The electron energy will be loses or decreases. Therefore, the electron will be slowed down. The electron will be we use the high fast moving electron. So when after this deflection, the electron will be slowed down. Due to this slowdown, this is converted into X-rays. We know that there is a change in energy will be converted into X-rays. This is called as Bromstrom X-rays are also continuous X-rays. These X-rays are called as Bromstrom X-rays are continuous X-rays. Bromstrom is a German word which means breaking radiation. It means the breaking of radiation. That means the emerging light will be breaking and it is converted into X-rays. It is called as the breaking radiation. So this is the production or origin of continuous X-rays. How the continuous X-rays we obtain? High energy fast moving electron should be passed through the nearly positively charged nucleus of the target. This is the target atom. They are deflected and it should be deaccelerated. This gives the electromagnetic radiation as X-rays, continuous X-rays. This is very important. Continuous X-rays, or it is also called as Bromstrom X-rays. This is the German word. This means the breaking radiation. This is the German word. This is the means breaking radiation. So when a high energy electron will be passed through the nearly positively charged nucleus of the target atom, they are deflected and deaccelerated. This gives the electromagnetic radiation called as continuous X-rays. So why? Because means the when the electron pass through this, there is an attraction between negatively charged electron and positively charged nucleus. Therefore, it should be deflected. So as a result, we know that when it deflected, deaccelerated, the electron loses its energy. Therefore, kinetic energy will be decreases. Due to this decrease in the energy, we know that will be converted into electromagnetic radiation, which they are called as the continuous X-rays or Bremsstrahlung X-rays. Is a German word which means the breaking radiation. So, for this, for each anode potential, there is a minimum wavelength. So, if you plot a graph of, if you plot a graph of intensity, this is the intensity versus wavelength. If we plot a graph of intensity versus wavelength, we get the graph like this. We know that to produce any X-rays, we need the target material, fast moving electron. How we produce the fast moving electron? We use the accelerating voltage. These electrons should be accelerating by using the some accelerating voltage. So this is for 30 kilovolts, this is for 40 kilovolts, and this is for 50 kilovolts, and this is for 70 kilovolts. So this the wavelength will be different, or spectra will be different for different material. The two peaks will be appear for the tungsten material. This will be for tungsten. It will be tungsten metal. So we notified that. So when this is the when we increase the wavelength, the intensity will also increases at some point. Further increase the wavelength, the intensity will be decreases. So this will be continuous. So this energy levels will be continuous. Therefore, it is named as the continuous X-rays. So if we increase the accelerating voltage also, the intensity will be increases with the increase in the wavelength. Further, at some point it should be maximum, and further increase the wavelength, the intensity will be decreases. So then if you further increase the voltage, it should be decreases. So it is the wavelength versus the intensity. It is for some metals for energy versus the intensity versus wavelength. So the first point we notify that for each anode potential, there is a minimum wavelength. So this is called as the minimum wavelength. So this is the minimum wavelength. So at point the wavelength will be minimum. It is known as the threshold wavelength. Below this, there is no radiation takes place. Below this lambda minimum, there is no radiation takes place. Above the value of lambda minimum, the intensity of the radiation increases rapidly and it reaches the maximum value, then decreases with the increase in the wavelength. So what are the points observed from the graph? The first point is the anode potential. It should be minimum wavelength. This is the lambda minimum known as threshold wavelength, below which there is no radiation. Below which there is no radiation. The second one is above lambda minimum, the intensity will be increases and it reaches maximum, then decreases with the increase in wavelength. The third one is lambda minimum is independent of the lambda minimum is independent. Lambda minimum is independent of the nature of target material. Nature of the target material. So lambda minimum is independent of the nature of the target material. And the fourth one is lambda minimum is inversely proportional to the applied potential difference. So lambda minimum is inversely proportional to the applied potential difference. The fifth one is as the applied voltage is increased, then also the intensity will be maximum and it should be towards the shorter wavelength. For a given potential, the total intensity will be continuous and it should be directly proportional to the atomic number of target element. And the continuous X-ray spectrum is the inverse. We know that X-ray spectrum will be inverse of photoelectric effect. Hence, the kinetic energy is converted into photon energy. Kinetic energy will be converted into photon energy. So, this is the photon energy.
Time's up.
So, this is called as the discrete peak. So, this is about the continuous X-rays. So, in this class, I am explaining about what are X-rays, how they produce, and what are the properties, and the application, and the types. So, the second type will be discussed in the next class. If any doubt,
Tell me, sir.
if any doubt,
10-5 ಆಯ್ತು.
so